Alright, so one of the things I've been doing in between my Jeep project is building a welding table. So the purpose of this is kind of twofold. One is to give me a functional steel tabletop to weld projects on, and then also to improve my welding skills. So I bought a Hobart Handler 140, and I used it on the Jeep to weld, thin sheet metal, and now I'm working on, 2.5 inch square tubing, 1/4 inch thick. And as you can see from those welds, I need the practice. They're not that bad, but it definitely gives you some practice and hones your skills. So I picked up a DeWalt chop saw. This is a 14-inch metal saw, and it really wasn't that expensive as far as saws go. And this thing has handled cutting all this steel pretty good. Make sure you have it hooked up to at least a 20 amp breaker, because I blew the 15 amp breaker. Just when it gets under strain, it'll pop a 15 amp breaker pretty easily. As far as wheels go, I'm going to mount casters on it, and I bought these pretty big casters here. They're I'll show you this here. I got these at Northern. It was a 4-pack set, and if I'm not mistaken, they're about 45 bucks. 2,200 pound capacity, and my table's probably going to end up weighing about 800 pounds. So 1/4 inch thick steel plate, got them marked up. So here's where the legs will meet, and then you'll have obviously space to I'm going to drill some holes here, just haven't done it yet. So I got these cut out, and then I will eventually drill the holes in those and weld these onto the bottom of the legs. I'm also going to have a shelf here, so I'm going to have a 1/2 inch top. It's going to have a 3-inch overhang on one side and an 8-inch overhang on this side, and that's to mount my vise right there. And then down here I'm going to have a 1/4 inch plate shelf, and it'll all be on wheels, so it should be able to move it around pretty easily. The base is going to weigh probably about 400 pounds. Between the top shelf and the top of the table and the shelf, you're probably looking at another 350 pounds or so. So it's going to be a pretty heavy duty table, and my plan is to not have to handle the top too much, but I can back my truck up right up to my basement door and then slide it right onto the finished frame here, and that's why I don't have the top yet. So I'll order that in another week or so once I get this thing done and painted up. But it's a fun project, and it really gives you some good practice with welding if you're new to welding, which I am, and it will certainly humble you, because what I've done up to this point was working on my Jeep and doing spot welds on thin sheet metal, and now I'm welding 1/4 inch thick steel. So it takes some practice, but kind of the intention behind this project was to get some practice. It's coming out good. I'm happy with the way it looks right now. As far as the top of the table, it's square. It's exactly the same measurements diagonally, and I think it's going to turn out real nice. But more to come on this. I'll do a part 2 of this video to show you the finished product. It'll probably be about 2 or 3 weeks.